A secret United States mission deep inside Iran. And for the very first time, the Air Force is telling the world what really happened. You're watching Times XP. I am Dhritiyatri, and today we take you inside Operation Midnight Hammer. A mission so dangerous, so technical, so secretive that even seasoned pilots call it the most complex air operation of their careers. And now the US Air Force has finally pulled back the curtains now. Let's walk through this like we are watching it unfold, frame by frame, jet by jet, strike by strike. First in, last out. The F-35s that opened the door into Iran. Now imagine this scene. Pitch black skies over Iran, stealth fighters slicing through the radar networks. In fact, bomber crew bracing for the most dangerous flights in their entire lives. The Air Force confirms it. That's right, F-35s, they were the first American aircraft to enter Iranian airspace. Their job? Destroy Iranian air defenses, hunt missile batteries, clear a path for the B-2 bombers, make sure nothing, absolutely nothing touches the bombers on their way in. Then comes Lieutenant Colonel Aaron Osborne. He said it very plainly that they tried to lock onto us with high-end systems. They just couldn't. The F-35s opened the door, and when the mission ended, they closed it behind them. They were the last jets to leave Iran. So here's the scene. 14 massive bombs, one night, zero room for the error here. Once the skies, they were swept clean, the B-2 spirits, they went to work. If we talk about number, then 14 massive ordnance or penetrator plus one precision weapon rained down on the nuclear sites, and that too in Fordo, Natanz and Isfahan. These were Iran's most fortified, deeply buried nuclear facilities, the kind the world rarely hears about, except in intelligence briefing. In fact, as soon as the bombs hit, the danger wasn't over for them. The F-35 stayed behind, guarding the exit route, waiting for retaliation. Back at base, alarms yellow, alarms red, crews dispersing, pilots, they were preparing for missile strikes. He said it very clearly that we were expecting ballistic missiles. It was wild. And this wasn't even the start of their deployment here. Here's another twist, ladies and gentlemen. This strike, it wasn't the response that they deployed to the Middle East. They arrived in March 2025, and within 24 hours, they were already flying combat missions. Welcome to Operation Rogue Rider here, America's campaign against the Houthis in Yemen. Now in those first week, the F-35 unit took out air defense batteries. They destroyed missile launchers. In fact, they hit the command centers, knocked out weapons depots, scored the first ever F-35A air-to-air kills by shooting down attack drones. He also called it one of the toughest flying periods of the deployment. Let me quote what he said. This is the first time anyone has been shot in 20 years, actually doing the Wild Weasel mission here. Wild Weasel, basically a job where you fly towards enemy missile sites so they can shoot you, and you destroy them before they destroy you. This isn't flying, ladies and gentlemen, this is chess at Mach 1. Now let's talk about a squadron that never stopped moving. Throughout 2025, the team shifted between bases across the region, fast, constantly on the move. They integrated with tanks, they integrated with B-2 bombers, in fact, allied fighter jets and other US aircrafts as well. Basically, pilots, they flew back and forth missions. Maintainers, they kept jets fight ready under pressure. This was a high-tempo warfare, basically modern, networked and relentless. In fact, Colonel Charles Fallon, he put it very simply, that the F-35 and the Yemen, they prove that they can dominate in any threat environment. Now let's talk about the plot here. By the end of the deployment, something extraordinary happened. Pilots who had never seen combat were all of a sudden planning major missions. Maintainers were teaching other F-35 unit. Young airmen were working under missile threats, yet performing flawlessly. Well, the US, they grew up in real time.